Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Once again, I am William C. Tracy, and today we're talking with Athena Giles about her book for our new campaign, Space Wizard Science Fantasy Year 4, Part 1. And this is 7 new queer science fiction and fantasy books coming out. So I will let Athena talk a little bit about their book.
Hi, I'm Athena Giles. I am the author of Waves Take Your Bones. It is the first of a trilogy taking place on high seas adventure with zombies, and later there will be pirates.
Which is really all you need. Uh, I'm really excited for this book. I loved it when you sent it in. It's got a lot of cool adventure too, because it feels to me very much epic fantasy, secondary world, but we've got that zombies and pirates and high seas. So it goes back to the sort of naval adventures. Um, really like that. Um, do you have any favorite parts about the book or anything you want to, you know, interest or insights for this? Anything that inspired you? Uh,
I think, well, it got inspired by, I first started writing it when I was in a study abroad in New Zealand, and I was
mhm.
very just kind of inspired by the landscape and just kind of that kind of coastal landscape. I
Yeah.
also grew up in Seacoast, New Hampshire,
Okay.
so that was kind of the inspiration for that. I also had some sailors in my family, kind of going back a couple generations, so I have
Yeah.
a little bit of that connection. I myself cannot go sailing because I get nauseous too easily.
Yeah.
But so that was kind of where that came from. The I don't know how much to talk about, like that's actually in the book, but I guess the
Yeah.
first thing that I actually had a concept for was the Nightmare Bridge, and that shows up at the very beginning, and that
Yeah.
kind of built from there.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
That's a really cool concept. Yeah, I don't want to spoil too much, but maybe we can
yeah,
go a little bit into that. I
yeah.
was just going to say I went to New Zealand last year.
Mhm,
Yes, I agree. It is amazing. We got to go through some of the fjords and see that. Yeah.
mhm. Yeah,
And now having read your book, I know I can see that definitely that's where that
yeah.
came from. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about like without too much in the way of spoilers and stuff, but just to get some people interested, a little bit about like the magic and what's going on in this. Like you talked about the Nightmare Bridge. I know
Mhm,
that was something I was working with you on with developmental edits,
mhm.
because I wanted to see a little bit more of the world building behind that and what went in it. So where did that come from? Um, what does that mean to you?
Um, so I think the world itself doesn't have a lot of the magic in it, at least like when the main characters like aren't casting spells or something.
Mhm.
But there are the zombies, there are these sort of more unknown forces, and it seems like um sort of the main characters are discovering these things, and it's not something that's sort of present in the world as a whole, like everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's kind of coming out, like seeping out of the edges of the
Mhm.
maps of the world.
Yeah, it's very much George R. R. Martin sort of. He writes a very low fantasy, but all the magic is sort of creeping in at the edges.
Mhm.
Um,
I don't have
and
any dragons planned.
no dragons. Yeah,
No.
yeah. We got zombies. That's
Yeah.
you know good. It's a good start. And then I guess you had said before, talking about pirates in the next book. So
Mhm.
there will be more books coming
Yeah.
out from Space Wizard. In fact, we are planning to have one in our next year campaign for book 2. So I guess without too much in the way of spoilers, what is your thought for this series, or like what does this encompass? What adventures are we gonna come across in the world?
Um, the the main two characters are a woman named Talus and her friend Finn. They kind of get enlisted in the Navy to kind of fight back against the zombies, and sort of the overarching plot is them figuring out the origins of where they're coming from, trying to figure out how to stop it, how to prevent it from spreading even further across the world.
Yeah. And that's something I really loved about this, that you've got sort of the modern zombie story. And there's a lot of those tropes in the book as well, but you also have this very cool epic fantasy feeling to it. And like you said, you had sailors in the family, and I can see how that comes across with a lot of the description on the ships and the seafaring. You have some great naval action, some naval battles. that readers are going to come across. Um, but yeah, very excited for this. And in fact, we got part of the cover today. So I won't share it here. You have to wait for it to come out. Hopefully, I will have it before the campaign starts, but this is our placeholder right now. You can see the sort of ships on the sea, and that's sort of a feeling for the book. But we just got the cover, the character study for the cover today. So I'm excited to get that out to everybody. Um, but yeah, if you're not familiar with campaigns, so this is our Space Wizard campaign. We do this every year. This year we're breaking it into two. So this one is going to be part one. We have our first 7 books coming out, all queer science fiction and fantasy, and we'll come back again in November for part two. So definitely stick around, go through this one, and then you'll have even more books the next time around. And next year, we'll have another one in June, which will probably feature your second book at that point. But you can look through the campaign. You can get 1, 3, 5 ebooks or paperbacks. You can get a subscription and actually get every book as it comes out, which will include Waves Take Your Bones. And we have some other fun stuff too. You can get some swag, and you can also do things like developmental edits, copy edits, and you can even book a nerd adventure with my wife. Maybe go to New Zealand and see the fjords and experience Wave Take Your Bone. You could read the book on the trip.
Yeah, the landscape that I think was inspired it the most was in the Coromandel, which is on the North Island. So
Okay,
definitely
cool. Well,
recommend that if you
there
go.
you go. You got a trip planned and a book to go with it already. All right. So, well, it's been a pleasure talking with you. We're going to keep these short just to give you a little taste of what's going on, but definitely check out the campaign. Get your copy of Waves Take Your Bones. Any last words or thoughts for us before we wrap up?
Thank you for having me here today.
Yeah, definitely. And we will see you back for this campaign in June, and then we'll see you in your next book next year as well. So
Yep,
stay tuned for, this is going to be a trilogy?
it's currently
Maybe.
three.
Okay, maybe a
Yeah,
trilogy. So
we'll
you're in store for at least 3 books. Um, all right. So yeah, we will be back again with more author interviews. We'll have some other fun stuff talking about developmental editing, the my wife's nerd ventures. So tell you how to take a trip to New Zealand, and some other fun stuff. So stay tuned. We'll be coming back with more interviews later. So thank you, Athena, and
yeah.
we'll see you around. All
Bye.
right. Bye.